But if you follow the logic of this year and if you look at past examples of the S&P on rally years, generally it rallies between 15 and 20%. But if we do get something similar to 2021, it would not be unreasonable to be thinking that. Until you get below here, is there any reason to think the S&P does anything other than go up? We seem to have inflation that is looking like it's moving towards stable. So this could be a market that just retains this very, very dull outlook for the rest of the year. So I thought very quickly, little bit of a technical outlook. And there's only two charts I really wanted to pull up here just at the moment. But the second chart, you could say, well, you could look at the euro for a similar type of structure. One structure that really jumped out at me, I was looking at this yesterday in the S&P. I always look at or try and look for sort of similar looking situations. And what struck me about last year is the similarity to 2020. If you look at what happened in 2020, you got the move up until Feb, sell off, and then we got a pretty dramatic sort of almost V bounce. You got the same type of thing, rally until February, March, sell off, dramatic V bounce, and continuation higher. In both instances, we started virtually at the high of the previous year, broke the low of the previous year, and then rallied. Opens at the high, breaks the low, and then rallies. So I'm looking at 2021 as potentially a template for 2026. Is there any reason to think that we won't now see this as a continuation type of movement? For me, I'm looking at that and thinking, well, quite possibly not. You could argue we also had a similar structure in 2018, where you had a sell-off into the 2019 rally. So we do have the potential then to be looking for that further sort of continuation onwards. I don't want to sort of get into, well, how far do I think it's going to go? But if you follow the logic of this year and if you look at past examples of the S&P on rally years, generally it rallies between 15 and 20%. I don't want to say, oh yeah, well, this is an absolute banker, we're going to 8,000. But if we do get something similar to 2021, it would not be unreasonable to be thinking that. Ultimately, I think very little changes until you're below here, basically below the highs from 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Until you get below here, is there any reason to think the S&P does anything other than go up? So that's the one that has got the sort of very, very matching look about it. 24/5 looks very similar to 2019-20. The other market that I'm particularly interested in is Treasuries. And I appreciate we've moved past the phase of the rate hikes, which is what caused much of this drop and the inflation. And we're now in a stage of, well, where do we go from here? We've had 2 years now. This is 2024 and 25, 2 years of consolidation. And that consolidation is becoming ever tighter. So we're at a point where you're thinking, well, there's not that much really to be going on. And we could well end up with this kind of stagnation phase that lasts, well, ultimately a rather long time. We don't seem to have any particular direction from rates. We seem to have inflation that is looking like it's moving towards stable. So this could be a market that just retains this very, very dull outlook for the rest of the year. But with such levels of compression, there's good scope for movement. You could say very similar about the euro as well. If you bring in a euro chart, that's your daily on a euro, and it's a very similar thing. You've had the big drop off, so dollar strength as we had the rate hiking fight of inflation. And since, again, 2023 even, we have consolidated sideways. So you're in a very similar scenario where we've got scope for movement, but without a great deal of action.